Hi everyone, this is Cindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share a bag that I have made myself recently, and I think if you have watched one of my lives and I've showed some process of it, but it was such a boring live stream, and I was just like watching the video and trying to do a little bit of sewing. So quite a long time, quite some hard work later, and this is the bag that I've made. So in today's video I'm going to talk about where did I get the material from, and then how long did it take me to make the bag. Is it easy or difficult, and do I recommend that you can take on this challenge or task yourself at home. So without further ado, let's begin. The bag kit that I've got from a company online retailer called Babylon Leather. I got that before Christmas, but it took them quite a while to ship it to me, and so finally I got it about at the beginning of January, and it only just came the day before yesterday. So I am going to show you what's included in the packet. And there's a leaflet here, and also this is the invoice. And so the model is the Lindy bag, is the small model, Lindy Mini. And because I don't have a Lindy bag, so I just thought let's make a Lindy bag, because let's see how it goes, because that would keep me occupied for a while. In the packet there's a little rodeo, little horsey, but this is really horrible quality, it's plastic, so I'm not going to use that. And also there's some, you can call these twillies, but they're just like little long silk scarves, but these are not silk, these are synthetic, and so these can be used for, I don't know, God no, but I'm going to leave it. And so in the bag they are the tools, and they are the materials and the leather, and also the rest are the leather panels. You can see that the leather, the Togo, I mean, looks like the Hermes Togo leather, but I'm not sure. And these have already been punched around the edges for the needles, and these are already pre-punched. So I'm going to make this and then document this and see how it goes. And then at the end of it I will have a bag and I'll let you know. And so yeah, I'm very looking forward to this, because this, you can say this is a fake bag, but I don't think this is a fake Hermes bag, but I think it's the Lindy design. I don't know, and this can be debated, but I don't care if you judge me saying, oh, you buy a fake bag, you try to do this and do that, but you know what, I don't really care that much. But I'm just going to enjoy the process of making this bag and then documenting it, and I'll see how many hours that's needed to make this bag, and I'll see how much enjoyment I'll get out of this, because I'm running out of things to do, because I can only knit so many scarves, I can only sew so much pillows, and so therefore, you know, just do something. And because so since then I've almost every day I do a little bit of sewing, because the instructions that you have to scan this QR code and then go to a video, and it shows you the tutorial and step by step how to make all the parts and how to sew different stitches. Because I always love sewing, handicrafts, alterations and knitting, so it's something that I always wanted to do. I made a bag in the past, and this is a little mini bucket bag that I've made myself. You can see it just like I've improvised with everything, because this is a long story. Probably I should do another video about this bag, but set this bag aside, and we're just talking about this one today. You can see the model is the Hermes Mini Lindy model. You know, there's no logos on it obviously, but it just shape, design and everything is, I would say this is a replica or like a look-alike. Lindy, mini Lindy, but it's not exactly the same because you can see on the hardware there's no logos or nothing, and there's no Hermes on the lock. The straps are slightly different because I modified it a little bit, because the original Hermes Lindy bag is just this one long strap, but theirs came with a buckle, but I just didn't like the buckle, and so I made it myself. I did a little bit of alteration around the hook here, so that was quite challenging. And I think the bag looks okay, and you can see the studs at the bottom of the foot, and the zip puller, and they're quite smooth. You can see inside it's just one compartment, there's no side pockets, unlike the real Hermes ones, but you can see that the studs for the foot studs that are there, that you can see there I've missed a stitch, therefore I got a crease, but luckily it was at the back, but it doesn't really matter. And then the side handle, number one, there's a real pocket on the side all the way down to the edge here. Same on the other side. And then there's a little hole for the key to go through. But the thing is, if I have that done up, and then the zip up, and then the zip doesn't really sit on it properly. You can see that there is some, you can see it doesn't sit down properly, so maybe just have to have the zip backwards a little bit. But if I have the zip all the way to the front, and then the zip just doesn't sit on it properly. But anyways, I suppose this is like something that it's just for fun, is not like, oh, I want this. But I think mini Lindy bag is the least bag that I want to buy from Hermes boutique. But I thought, let's just make it to see how this goes. And so this one, you can see on the bottom, they're just like 4 studs, and the piping all the way, all the way, all the way. And I don't know how I've missed one stitch on the bag. I think maybe it's at the corner, one of the corners, because I did feel like maybe, I think, or even further up here, and I felt that I've missed one stitch. That's why it's ended up with a little crease like that. But I'm not really bothered about it, because at least I ended up having a bag. But I just have to, if I push it a little bit, and then you can see it has gone away. So, I mean, it's not too bad. Set the bag aside, and let me talk about how long did it take me. Okay. How long? It was quite a lot of time. You can see I left all the time that I've spent on each part, and I've recorded everything. So you sew it, begin with the pockets, and then you move on to the bag lid, this middle flap. You have to sew the stitch like all the way, fixing the zips and with the side little panels, and they were very, very fiddly, and if you're not careful, and the zip won't be having a clear finish. But I think I've done an okay job with mine, but still, however, I think the this bit might need to come forward a little bit. Maybe I've cut off too much at the back, but I don't think so, because if they have punched all the perforated all the edging with holes, so therefore I can't put it forward, and so this flap must be just like ends up there. But you can see that they perforated this whole thing, that I have to fix this lock there onto this spot. But however, I can't move it upwards, but if I pull it down, you can see there's like a gap. I don't think this mini model is entirely accurate, but anyhow, so if I do it up, it looks a little bit struggling. You can see that this bit is being pulled up, but once I finished the lid and then I started to move the handles, oh my god, the handles were very, very difficult. And this took me 4 hours to just do these 2 handles, and it was very, very challenging. So, but I think, you know, because the holes are already pre-punched, so as long as you just follow that, make sure the handle is fitted on properly, and then it ended up should look okay, but still very, very challenging. And then once the handles is being made, bottom, you got to fix that onto the bottom, these 2 side panels, and with the handles on, and these 2 stitches here and here. That didn't take too long, and that was the easy bit. And then you put the studs on, and then put the lid on together, and then you would start to do the piping. The piping, I would say, is the most challenging, and also if you're not careful, you will end up with missing stitch, that you ended up with a little dent like that, like the one I've done. And luckily it's not too bad, it's only like there on the bottom. And so if I stretch the bag, probably it will go away, you know, once the bag is being used for a bit. And but the piping is a very, very long-winded and very, very fiddly job, because the piping, I'm not sure what's the technical term, but you can see that inside on the bag there is covered over with this technique, and so you wouldn't see the edging inside or the loose material, loose ends. So this is all covered with that piece of leather, and also that edging is being covered all under that. So that's like very, very thick, so many layers of material that you have to sew through. It was very, very hard. And I have a pain now in my hand here, I think due to, like, you know, kind of like pulling the needles. And so for the piping, it took me, I couldn't do this in one go because it was just like very, very hard. It took me, I think, about 8 hours altogether over 4 occasions for me to complete that. And once the piping is done, and then you have to turn the bag inside out, and that was quite hard as well. And but it was not too bad. And you fix these, and you fix and the hardware onto it. But although you can see that all the zip pullers and everywhere, you can see that the edging, and so it all requires sewing. And then the straps actually took me about 2 hours because I have to sew this bit on, and I've modified it, but I sew that on and then put that stud to have that little loop and on. That took me like 2 hours, and so that wasn't too bad. But so therefore took me about 4 days, 32 hours altogether to do this bag, and because you have to watch the tutorial in order to understand how everything works and how the parts assemble together, and inside, outside. I mean, it's quite obvious whatever the inside and the right side, or the lining side. The lining side got a shine, and then the outside is a mattified sort of a leather. It's not like Togo. I think the grain is slightly bigger than the Togo. I would say this is Clemens, Touraine Clemens, sort of like a larger grain leather. Size of the grain with this Clemens E-tube Hermes bag, and then you can see it's very, very similar. This is definitely not Togo, sort of smaller grain, and I'm pretty pleased with the bag. The bag is nice, and it cost about £125 for the whole kit, and it's not cheap, but I've got so much enjoyment out of this. And also equally at the same time, I find that this was very, very not only mentally challenging but technically challenging. So do I recommend you to get one of these to start to make your own little bag? And maybe different models have different difficult levels, but this one, I find it very, very difficult. I mean, make the bucket bag, I didn't feel it was difficult because I've so-called designed the whole thing myself, and then just did the eyelets and everything. But because this is a kit that is already there, all the parts, all the fixtures and fittings, the hardware, they're all there. All you need to do is just follow the instructions word by word. But still, would you be able to put in that 32 hours or 4 days? Or sometimes if you haven't got any sewing experience, it might take you longer, and but I wouldn't recommend it if you have no sewing experience. But you still can have a try, but I'm not stopping you, but maybe try with something that slightly easier and not doing the piping, because the piping, oh my god, I've never done something like that before in the past, but it just super hard. And so that's something you need to bear in mind. And is it easy or difficult? I would say it's very difficult. I've given a 5-star difficulty, and maybe I'm wrong, but I would think that if you never fitted a zip yourself with even a sewing machine, and I don't know, but it's quite hard if you get used to using a sewing machine. But this is all handmade. So what do I take after I've made this bag is that I have 1000% respect for the Hermes artisans, for them to making the bag, from the choosing the material and cutting the leather, cutting the pattern, cutting the leather, and then punching the holes all the way along the material, and the piping, and the all the compartments. I'm not sure, I didn't count. I should have counted how many items or how many parts is in this kit, but anyway, there are quite a lot. It's like 1 2 3 4, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So it will be 20, it will be like about 30 different items. And sometimes, like, there's lining as well, because this is already lining, and the front outside of the bag is already came together. So for a Hermes artisan, it would probably, they all have to do that for themselves, bonding the leather together. I mean, I just find it, is so much hard work is being putting into making this even look-alike bag that is already like, you know, a kit that hole is being punched already. And but the thing is, I still think it would take quite a long time and to do it. So therefore, it's not something or someone you can just easily replicate, and is the hard work, the dedication, the concentration, the attention to detail, the, you know, the care and hard work putting into making a bag like this is just unbelievable, is totally unbelievable. And so that therefore I think, you know, making this bag make me to realize that this is like, I feel all the Hermes bags that I've bought, I feel like, okay, it's money that is worth spending that, because if you want to make a bag, or if you have made a bag like this yourself, and you would know what I meant. It's not that easy, and it's not that oh, it's just a bag. It's not. It's a lot of hard work is being putting into it. So therefore, think twice if you want to get a counterfeit bag, because it's not the same. It's never the same. And please just respect their craftsmanship, their art and their design and everything, and just so to, you know, appreciate this, how they designed to make this bag. It's just like, I'm beyond, my respect is, you know, over the roof, went over the roof. So yeah, and still, and I really enjoyed the whole process, even though it was difficult, and I've learned a lot from making this bag, and the concentration and hard work, and with the little pen to remind me that how hard it was, and plus the videos that I've taken, and it's worth it for me, and because I love doing things like this. So yeah, I might carry the bag and proudly, even though it's a look-alike, but I don't really care. Like, I've done the work in Birkin thing. This is like a complete personal choice. This has nothing to do with being like, you know, being morally judged, because this is just a bag kit that is handicraft that I wanted to do, and I wanted to see how difficult it is to make this bag. That's the main thing. And so that's today's video, and I hope you've enjoyed me talking to you through about the whole process, and you know, to make your own mind up whether you want to make your own bag or not. And I hope my video is useful, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and give my video a like, and switch on that little bell button, so when I upload a new video you'll be notified. Until my next one, I see you then. Bye.